What is up, Bombad fam? How you guys doing? It is let me know in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? I feel like, listen, I am controlling the ship tonight. We will see how it goes. Real quick, I'm going to pull this down and greet you face to face. What's up, everybody? Hi, it's me, your boy, the Cannon Junkie, and yeah, here we are, my own show. Wow. Thank you, Scotty. You sound amazing as well, Boo. If I could hear you, I'm sure you would. Well, you know, it is. What can I say? But you're not my guest tonight, honestly. I have a guest who is a good friend of the Bombad cast. But before I bring him in, just real quick. So welcome to Hyperfocus, episode 1. There will be more to it eventually. Just right now, you know, I've got ADHD, and so this is the show right now. This is the show we got. But guys, Hyperfocus, it is a conversation show between me and a guest about essentially what my guests, whatever they are hyper-focused on at that moment in their lives. We are talking about life. We can talk about Star Wars. We can talk about anything. But to join me for the inaugural episode tonight, I have just, again, a wonderful, fantastic friend of the show, of our, I don't even know if I want to call it a network. It's not really, the Bombad Cast channel on YouTube. Oops, I bumped my mic. Hoping you still hear me. But let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's bring in the one, the only Mr. Nick Milkey.
Oh, sorry. Caught me having a little dance party.
Sorry. I got you. Hey, it's okay. We're all excited. Look, we got Boopenheim here. Jerry! Yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the first official Hyperfocus t-shirt probably needs to say, oops, I bumped my mic.
Oops, I bumped my mic.
It could have a little double entendre, little euphemism, whatever you want to call it. But Hyperfocus, oops, I bumped my mic.
You know what? Honestly, I kind of endorse that, but also it's probably going to have that little logo, that's, right above you right there. That's the magic of cinema right there. Like it's superimposed over all of this. But guys, here we are, the first episode. I want it to, so it'll probably be that logo, and on the back, oops, I bumped my mic. Honestly,
That's all
I
you
love
need.
that. That's the t-shirt. It's like, you get the Hooters, right, and then on the back it says what, like I'm here for the week or something, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So look at this. So we're gaining people in the chat. Oh, we jumped up to 7. Welcome, guys. Michael, nice to see you. Thank you. Rez, good to see you, my friend. We've got Andrew Miller here, Star Wars Line by Line. Guys, you're all being just way too kind. Keep it coming though, because we'll see where this goes. Me and Nick are going to have a conversation about honestly whatever Nick wants to talk about. So honestly, Nick, you're in charge of programming the show.
Well,
I'm just the host.
Well, that's very kind of you, and I like that because it's kind of the reverse talk show kind of deal. But let me say, first of all, up top, congratulations to you, my friend, on this exciting new show. I can't tell you what an honor it is to be asked to be on your inaugural episode. That's a big deal to me, and I am totally pumped to see where this show goes. And so to be in at the beginning, that's an honor. But this is exciting for you because we talk about this a lot. And I've talked about this a couple times recently. We both do Star Wars podcasts. And so that's our niche. That's our thing. That's our lane. But we do like other things, and we think about other things, and we have other things going on. And so like last week, I was a guest on the Deucecast, which is a movie podcast. And I got to talk about my top 5 favorite summer movies from the years 1985 to 1989. And Star Wars wasn't in any of those.
Incredible.
But it was because I love movies and I love pop culture and I love and that was a time when I was growing up. And so it is nice to get outside of my Star Wars lanes. And again, that doesn't mean we're not going to talk about Star Wars, but it's nice to have an opportunity just to hang out and talk. And I love the free flow nature of what you're doing too, because half of what we talked about for the 20 minutes before you started probably could have been the first 20 minutes of the show.
Honest, I was thinking that, but it's also just like, this is what I like to do. I just like to talk with people. I like to have conversations and such. And so, and eventually at the end of the show, not to cut you off, I'm sorry if I cut you off there. That's going to happen a lot too. professional. Well, I know, but by the way, we have Mr. Pete Fletzer of Around the Galaxy gracing us with his presence. Okay, thank you for showing up, Pete. Love you, buddy. But also, hey, towards the end of the show, all of you out in the chat, I'm gonna throw in the link. We're not doing it it sort of like Hyperfocus, but more of like after we talk, you can come in, you can chime in on what we've said, you can ask us a question, you can tell us we're wrong. Nicely.
Because I'm guaranteed to be wrong.
Me and Nick, if there's one thing a couple of straight white dudes can tell everyone is that we're probably wrong most of the time.
That I don't know shit about anything.
Right. So, but anyway, hold on. I look forward to being on the penultimate episode when Jerry and I have a duel to the death on a crumbling mountain.
I also look forward to that.
I honestly, and Jackson's already on Twitter last night was challenging me to a cage match. So we'll see what happens. But
sounds like it's time to hit the gym, Gerald.
I know. I posted like well, you can all see most of you are on Twitter. I posted like a sweat into the Oli style GIF of some guy with a mustache doing this, and I said I'm starting my training regimen right now.
That's right.
And that was a lie. I haven't done shit. But anyway, Nick, man, thanks for coming on, man. Seriously. And,
again, truly a pleasure.
Well, you know what? It's a pleasure for me too. And I want to say, you know what? Nick, I'm going to let people peek behind the curtain.
Do it.
And say that you were a last minute choice. Not because I didn't want you on, but because I thought I had booked people and I had double booked the same day. So you know what, Nick, guys, is a saint and a trooper, and I love him. And I don't know if he was like expecting me to talk about this on here, but it's my show. And
your show.
And I don't know if my parents are watching or whatever, but fuck whatever you guys think. It's my show.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hi. But hey, Nick, thank you again, though, for coming on. Nick, again, very good friend of not just the shows, just a very good friend. And so, Nick, what's really kind of, I don't know, what's been on your mind lately, man? Like, is there anything that you want to kind of talk about? It's a big question. It's a big, vague question.
It's a big question.
What makes Nick Milkey tick, maybe? Maybe we should talk about that. I don't know.
I feel like what makes Nick Milkey tick is, like all of us, the 1,000 different plates that we're constantly spinning all at the same time. As a dad, as a husband, as an employee, as a hobbyist, podcast and content creator, there's never not something going on. And, this week is no different. I have, as you well know, I have 4 daughters.
Girl dads for life.
That's right. Girl dads for sure. My middle child is doing zoo camp this week, which means every day she goes to our local zoo from 8 to 5 and gets to hang out with animals and do crafts and things like that.
That's awesome.
No, it's great. And so she's super pumped about that. Her twin sisters, who are 13, they're practicing to be in a play that's taking place in July. So they have to go to play practice every night from 6 to 9. And so it's one of these classic, I left work, went and picked one up from the zoo at 5, came home just in time to pull in the driveway to pick up the other 2, to take them to play practice on the other side of town, to come home because my wife had to leave to go to a meet. It's just one of these high five running in and out the doors. And, at the end of the workday, I was most excited to be able to do this and to have a beer and talk to a friend. And none of those things are complaints by any stretch. It's just the busyness and the nature of this phase of life. And, what are the things that are going on? We go to work every day. We come home. It's summertime. My wife is a teacher and all my kids are out. So they're kind of in that in between survival mode of when are they ready to murder each other because they're all home together. And then, in between that, it's okay, at the end of the day, when the kids go to bed, we watch a show together. And so what is most present and pressing at the moment is yesterday we finished season 3 of Ozark. Late to the game, but we are now fully caught up on Ozark.
I'm not in the game at all, but you can go ahead.
I highly recommend it. And I'm not going to talk about it too much or spoil it other than to say it's fantastic. And I love Jason Bateman. I've always loved Jason Bateman. And I wasn't sure coming into it, is that a show that I'm going to be super into? But we tried it anyhow on the recommendation of other people, and was great. And so now I'm ready for season 4 to come out, which is supposed to be out sometime, I think, this year. So,
okay.
Classic marital binge a show conundrum is, one, it's over with. So now what are we going to watch? Also, why do we have to wait for the next one? Like that whole binge thing, oh crap, now we have to wait for the next season to come out.
Right. But hey, what's up, Holo Chronicles boys? I'm going to guess it's Andy, but it could be both. I think y'all just got off a show, actually, just recently. So, what's up, guys?
I see some comments from Scotty here.
I was going to say, okay. So yeah, I want to pull this up for sure. I didn't see this when I saw the second one. Seems like becoming a parent sucks in a weird time consumption way, but maybe that's just my not a parent selfishness. Talk about that. What is it like being a busy parent and okay. So we got Rez here. Rez, another parent. It's nuts. We got look, both the Holo Chronicles boys are Scotty. We can fill you. This is going to be essentially Scotty's therapy right here. So being a parent and being busy, but also finding time to do the things you want. Is it possible? Maybe. Hold on. I'm very selfish when it comes to my time. So are kids. So it's fine. I don't know, Nick. So how do you respond to that? Like, what is it like being a parent and being busy? Like, do you have time for yourself?
Yeah, it's honestly, and this has always been kind of my tagline for being a parent in general. And we had twins first, so we started out. We kind of cheated the system. We had 2 kids at one time.
That's got to be like learning to swim in the Indian Ocean. Like
it was, but at the same time, I always go back to what if we had had 1, then we had 2? Would it have been harder? But like starting out with 2 was all we ever knew. So then when we had 1, we're like, holy crap, this is a lot easier. But my kind of go-to thing about parenting has always been, it's the best hard work I'll ever do. Like, it's hard, it's frustrating, it gets annoying. There are plenty of moments where I'm like, I just want people to stop calling my name, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Like, it's truly, like, for all the, and it's one of those things too. And I understand what Scotty's saying about, his time and being selfish with his time. And that's normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with having those feelings and feeling that way. And he may always feel that way. He may not, he and Katie may decide at some point, yeah, we do want kids. Everybody has a different decision. But the reality is, it's also one of those very unexplained phenomena that, like, when it hits, it just hits and the switch flips and you don't have a choice. Like, when my twins were born, whatever other things I had going on, there was nothing more important on this earth than those 2 babies and my wife. Like, I didn't have a choice. It wasn't up to me. And so it is one of the things that, it just happens. And the rest of it just becomes details that I figure out along the way. And so, as they get older, it gets easier. As, you just find your moments. Like, I've blocked out the time on Sunday nights that I do my podcast, and that kind of works with everybody's schedule. This past weekend, everybody in my house went to Memphis Thursday through Sunday, and I was home by myself for 4 days with nobody calling my name, and I almost didn't know what to do with myself. It was amazing.
That's another strange phenomenon too. When you get that time, after you become a parent, you the first, at least depending on how long it is, the first good chunk of it, you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I
had all these grand plans of the things I was going to do, and I spent the first day and a half doing nothing. I played the Avengers game on PlayStation 4.
Oh, hell yeah.
I watched movies and like stared at my phone with nobody going, hey, are you going to help me? Are you going to feed me? I need more toilet paper.
Cheers
I
to
need
that.
to do this. I need to whatever. So it just comes with the territory, but it truly is, we all grow into it. We all adapt into it. Nobody can tell you there's a right way to parent and there's a right way to, your way is going to work for you, because what I do with my kids is different than what you do with your daughter. And it's because, the only other advice I give is that crazy parents have crazy kids. Like, if you're nuts and over the top and too much, like your kids are going to be hell to deal with. But like, if you take a deep breath and go, as long as we're all breathing and not bleeding, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, the parent can dictate and carry the energy around to say, hey, everything's fine. Hello, Pete.
Hey, and shit. And welcome.
And shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pete, I mean, Pete can give you some good parental advice, I'm sure. And stuff.
He's a parent and a daddy.
He's a parent, a certified daddy, and also he has goats. So that's bonus points, I think, somewhere, because those are technically kids.
That's right.
And that was a dad. That was a dad joke, everyone.
That is a dad
real
joke.
quick. I want to pull up this real quick, just because I love how Boop puts things sometimes. I've worked with and counseled teenagers for the last few years, and let me tell you, fantastic birth control. It is true. Now, you don't have to have kids. Don't let the world tell you have to, because honestly, you know, we're a little overpopulated. Not to be Thanos about it at all, because I'm not like that at all. He was wrong. Because we actually got a lot of good stuff here, like Andrew Miller, being a parent sucks. I only have time to watch movies like 1 second at a time. It depends on the age of the kid. There's so much truth
to that. Or sometimes. At my house, it's all the times that as we're watching a movie, they're asking me questions about the movie instead of listening to the movie explain the answer to the question that they have. Like, Dad, why is this happening? I'm like, well, if you'd be quiet and watch it, you would know why that's happening. But instead, they just ask me. And
that's kind of what I do with my parents. I stop and explain things to them because I don't know if they're paying attention or not, because they're old and they fall asleep and stuff, you know. I'm just every now and that might just be a weird thing with me. And that's on the other side. That's me as a child with my parents now, you know, kind of getting on their grandparents and stuff. I will pause. We'll have a quiz. Okay.
And that brings up
right?
That brings up another interesting topic that we can talk about for a minute. That's an important question.
That one was hard to figure out for kids. Let's just say.
That's right. It took a minute.
It took me. I was in my 30s before I figured that out.
So speaking of explaining movies, watching movies, those kinds of things, I have talked about this a little bit on my show, and I've started kind of pushing it out there on Twitter and all of that. I started a second podcast a couple of weeks ago, and this podcast was a Mother's Day gift to my wife, which, you know, she was not at all expecting us to give her a podcast for Mother's Day.
Right.
She got some other good stuff, concert tickets and whatever. But one of the things that we decided to give her, because my wife has never seen any of the Marvel movies, the MCU films. And my girls have seen most of them. I've seen them several times. And we were watching one day sitting at the house. And she came through the room, stopped for just a minute. And she kind of just said, throwing it out there probably as like a throwaway comment, she said, I might watch these movies with y'all. So what we did is my children and I created a podcast, and it's called Heroes of the Mom CU. And
gosh, so adorable. So awesome.
We are watching the MCU movies in chronological order with her. And basically, before we watch the movie, we show her the poster without the title on it. And we ask things like, what do you think this is called? Who do you think these people are? And this is my wife's knowledge level of the MCU. She thought that some of the characters in the MCU were Mighty Mouse and He-Man. The first time we talked about it on the very first episode.
I didn't laugh when you mentioned Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, but He-Man.
I saw a creepy van. Oh, so real quick. I saw a creepy van at the park yesterday when I had my child and my parents. We walked past it. Creepy stalker van had a Mighty Mouse tied to the passenger seat, like stuffed Mighty Mouse.
Nope, don't like that.
I don't like that either, and neither. I mean, he should be in the MCU. I mean, it's Mickey Mouse and Superman combined, right? I mean,
that's right.
Who knows?
So her level of knowledge with the MCU is that she thinks Mighty Mouse and He-Man are a part of it. Thanos.
Is it like Thanos? Yeah, like.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I read it.
Hey, Apprentice Ewok, welcome. Sorry. Go on.
We do pre the movie. We ask her some questions to get the funny reactions. What do you think this is going to be about? And then after the movie's over with, we come back and kind of do a little bit more serious. You know, what did you think of it? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? You know, kind of just, you know, getting her opinions, because this isn't even her genre of movies. Like superhero stuff, Star Wars, sci-fi, just doesn't do it. She likes dramas. She likes romantic comedies. humor, general comedies, not necessarily so much.
Stereotypical mom.
So it's very fish out of water.
Sorry.
No. And so far we have seen Captain America, Captain Marvel, and the first 2 Iron Man movies.
Okay.
And it's been funny to go through it because like I can tell just by body language and knowing her and being married to her for 16 years, like at times I'm going, she hates this. Like she is not enjoying this. And she even said that at one point in one of the movies, like we paused halfway through and she's like, y'all, I don't know if we can do this. She goes, how many movies are there? I was like, 22. And she was like, are you kidding me? I was like, yeah, we're on number 3. It's going to be great. And what I know, because I know her well enough is if we can just get to, it's a slog in the beginning because you're introducing so many characters and building so much of the world. But like, she will love Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Like she will love, and she loves Iron Man. Like Iron Man so far is her favorite. Iron Man 1 has been her favorite movie out of all of them so far. And she loved the snappiness of it, the wittiness of it, Robert Downey Jr., like all that stuff, which again, I agree completely. Right. But like the more, if we can get through. And so the challenge we're facing is next up is the Edward Norton Hulk movie. And that's going to be a challenge. And the only thing that may save us is that she really likes Edward Norton. So maybe that will get us through, but she can't get attached because then he's going away.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, hopefully she won't be upset that it's like, now he's Mark Ruffalo, but Mark Ruffalo,
he's very likable too. So
he's very likable. And he's from, he's been in his share of,
that's right,
of romantic comedies and stuff before the MCU.
So that's what we're working on. And my thought and process and question and bringing it up is I know that you have a lot of MCU Marvel connections and feelings. I know that it does. Totally does. The Cosmic Cube cast has been a thing out on the periphery a little bit. And so my question for you is,
okay, here we go.
What are your tips and advice for getting my wife the rest of the way through the other 18 movies that we still have ahead of us based on what I've told you so far?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, I'm not a guru. I'm not Jesus or anything, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you any magic answers. But what I will say is, I know that the themes of the movies, the way that I would describe it to someone who maybe is having a hard time is, you've got the flashy superhero costumes on the outside. I mean, they don't have a lot of that at the beginning. Right. It's more drab and stuff. They've gone more that way recently. But also the themes, this is truly, like you talk about Star Wars, it's mythology, it's deep themes, it's we're learning a lesson about the world around us and how we should treat people and how we should stand up for good things, right? How we should stand up for what's right. And I think it's like, did she connect it all with Captain Marvel and the like just the whole message of every time that she got knocked down, people kept trying to knock her down. Because I will cry just explaining that because of my daughter. Right.
Well, and that's it. And that's absolutely it. And
it's just powerful for whoever. But
and she takes notes as we watch these. And so when we come back afterwards and record after the movie, she'll talk about the things she's jotted down and all that kind of stuff. And she did. She wrote down that quote, or just the whole fact that they show early on, her falling down and not getting back up and all that kind of stuff. And those are the things that I think, and this is her whole thing, like action sequences doesn't give a crap. Like that's not going to do it for her. What's going to do it for her is the emotional storytelling, the big overarching thing. Like she glommed onto, and she won't see this, so it won't matter. In the Captain America, the First Avenger, she glommed onto the Steve and Peggy save me the dance, I'll meet you at the club thing, which obviously, as we know, spoiler alert, if you haven't been here, when we get to the end of Endgame, that's going to have a payoff. And so that's going to be a big thing. And there's a part of me that's going, I just have to get her there. And the other things that keeps going. And then again, like the relationships between Robert Downey Jr. and Spider-Man. It's true. There's some tub thumping going on.
This is gonna be like a constant thing in my. I'm just gonna start going.
You take your like Chumbawamba somewhere else, sir.
I'm gonna start being like a dean in a 1980s comedy, like college comedy, going, yeah, Pete Fletcher.
Well, and Boop's onto something too. She drinks a whiskey drink. That may be the other way to get her through all these movies, is just to get her drunk. So that's not off the table at this point either.
That's the next one. She drinks a vodka drink. Okay, so we got all this. We're
all the drinks.
But I will say, so okay, you talked about the Pete and Peggy.
Yeah, Pete.
Lord help us. Steve and Peggy.
Yes.
I literally so my parents have seen most of these movies, but have forgotten. Again,
sure.
I love my parents. If you're watching, Mom and Dad, I love you. You're old. They will say this themselves. But in fact, they said it 10 times today while we were watching. We started Winter Soldier because my dad doesn't remember much. I showed them Loki, the first 2 episodes of Loki, and now my dad's like, I think I kind of want to watch some of these things again. Oh, man. And how good is Loki right now? I mean, anyway, not to get into that. Yeah. This is going to become a Marvel podcast in a second, or a Marvel show. But we literally just watched right before. I had to stop and say, okay, I got to go do the show. You know, and we're in a small apartment, so we can keep it down. But we literally watched the scene where Steve is in with Peggy in her old age.
Yes.
And she is not all there anymore. And my mom's mom, my grandmother, had Alzheimer's, and so did my dad's mom. And so it's I was emotional even talking about it. I was like, this is all really hard to watch, right? Yeah. Kind of stuff. And not to make light of it, but it's just that there is a journey that she is going to go on with these characters.
Absolutely. And I think it's so neat watching them chronologically, which of course I didn't do. I saw them as they came out in the theaters, and we had the jump back and forth and all that kind of stuff, that the chronological order honestly sets it up in such a better way, because you get to connect those threads. Like, she loves Steve and Peggy in the first movie. Yes. She's kind of had, seeing Iron Man 1 and 2, she's connecting with Tony and Pepper. Like, there's these little bits of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I jumped ahead because I was kind of like, over the weekend when everybody was gone, I put on Winter Soldier. Same thing. I just was like, I want to watch Winter Soldier again. And so in those scenes, I was in my mind, I'm taking notes going, Laura's going to love this. Like, this is going to connect for her. And she connected with Bucky in First Avenger. So when he shows up in Winter Soldier, she's going to lose her shit. Like, she's not prepared for that. But those are going to be those twists and turns. Those are going to be those twists and turns that I think that are going to help propel us through some of the more challenging movies. I think she's going to struggle maybe with Guardians a little bit. She'll like that it's funny. She'll think Chris Pratt is cute, but like the more mystical, outer spacey kinds of things are not going to connect for her, but there's still storylines that go through that. So some of them we're just going to have to push through because we know what's coming on the other side of it.
Well, and with Guardians too, hopefully she'll connect. That's a child and his mother, having connections and stuff. And even Guardians Volume 2, just the whole, it is about a man dealing with his troubled past with his parents and stuff. It is they're very deep themes,
no doubt.
Even though those movies are very spacey and very weird. There's a talking raccoon and a tree, and it's Vin Diesel not saying at the movies, which is something I
Bradley
just noticed.
Cooper. I mean, Bradley Cooper's a freaking raccoon.
Bradley Cooper is a freaking raccoon. He should be the whole thing.
Or a rabbit, if you will.
Sweet rabbit. I've almost forgot about that. I want to get my parents, I want to get my dad back up to speed to where he's seen, because I don't think he has seen actually Infinity War and Endgame all the way through. It's just like, that's just kind of how my parents are, because my dad, if you start him too late, we can't watch him when the little one's around, right? Because it's still too bombastic. I've actually shown her scenes of what do you call it? Captain Marvel and stuff. Just kind of planting some seeds. Like,
well, by the time she gets old enough,
jerks, okay,
that's right. Well, by the time she gets old enough, and you get to that scene in Endgame where it's all the women, I mean, I teared up in the movie theater when that scene came on, and Pepper was in the rescue armor, Captain Marvel, Wasp, like all those women came in there all in a row.
Did too.
Like, done. I was just over.
Well, and it's like, I know that people have criticized that way, people probably that we don't want to be friends with, but there's a lot of people like criticizing. And was it a little ham-fisted? Yeah, a little.
I don't care. Don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm the same way because I saw that and I teared up because we haven't had a lot of that for young girls.
That's
and
right.
I want my daughter to know she can like what she wants to like.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to force her to like the MCU. If she's all about rainbows and unicorns right now, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
She can like that.
Well, and I think
forever.
that brings up a really good point, and I'd love to go down this road with you for a minute too, because you are also
again, you're the programmer.
You are a girl dad. I am a girl dad times 4. Like, I have 4 daughters, a wife, and my dog is also a female. So like, I am hopelessly outnumbered in my house. I would not trade it for the world. There's nothing that you could convince, like, you know, we're done having kids and we're not having a boy. That's fine. When I'm around my nephews, I'm just like, this is exhausting. I can't imagine doing this all the time. But what I want to come to is, especially with two daughters that are teenagers, recently turned 13. I've got one that's about to be 9 and one that's 5 headed to kindergarten. My girls having the ability to know they can do and choose what they want, if that's what they want to do or be, I can't put into words how important that is to me. And it goes back to things like I as much as I love sports, I mean, hold on, let me try that again. As much as I love Star Wars and Marvel and nerd stuff, I'm also a sports guy. Like, I played baseball growing up. I played basketball growing up. I love college football. Like, I love sports. I love baseball more than any sport that I love. The one thing that, if I was to say I miss something being a girl dad, is that I don't get to be a Little League baseball dad. I don't get to coach Little League and watch my guys play ball and whatever. But I'm not missing out on anything. I don't have a regret about that because my girls have had the opportunity. Do you want to play softball? No, I don't care. Like, one of my daughters got a baseball glove for her birthday 2 years ago, and we play catch in the yard sometimes, and that's good for her. It's great for me because we're playing catch.
Right.
But when it comes to things like the entertainment properties, like, I've never said, hey, y'all need to sit down and like Star Wars with me. One of the twins does. She's into it because she's the twin that's the most like me. The one that's more like her mother.
Right.
She is just now coming around to Star Wars, but she's also my big reader. She's the one that's more into, like, she's been obsessed with Titanic for like 3 years now.
Right.
But she was the one that loved Indiana Jones. We made the joke, and I've told this story too many times. When the twins were little, Harper, who loved Star Wars, her favorite person was Han Solo. And Lily, my other twin, she loved Indiana Jones. And the day that they realized that was the same person, like, just minds were blown. And so we joked for a long time that we needed to have a Harrison Ford birthday party for them and invite all their friends to come as their favorite Harrison Ford.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
But I've never forced, hey, I really want y'all to all watch Star Wars. Like, they all float in and out of certain parts of it. But Marvel also creates the opportunity for them to go, like, again, Harper's favorite character is Han Solo. She didn't feel like she had to like Princess Leia. Harper dressed up as Han Solo for Halloween 3 years in a row and probably will this year too. Because that's who she wants to be. Right. She doesn't have to be Leia. She doesn't have to be Rey. She doesn't have to be Padme. I want her to be who she wants to be. Same thing with, you know, Lily. Lily's favorite character in Marvel is Doctor Strange. Like, she's obsessed with Doctor Strange.
Gosh,
you know, and he's a great character, but she doesn't feel like, but then Ren, my middle child, she loves Black Widow. Like, she wants to be Black Widow. So it for me, and I guess the ultimate point that I'm circling around to is I love that we're getting more stories. Of course, I love that we're getting more female-led stories, but even in those female-led stories and or ham-fisted moments like Endgame, which again, I'll take it every day of the week.
I just call it that.
It's not. No. I'm agreeing with you. You know, it was organized intentionally, but it should have been organized intentionally. Like, I wanted it to be that way because I want my kids to look at all of this and go, this is the part I like. Awesome. Like the hell out of it. Like, go ahead and do it. And I know you're raising a daughter too. And I got really tickled the other day when you put the picture up and you had the Indiana Jones 4K box set sitting on the shelf. Right. And you said she walked in and immediately was just like drawn to it. And I was like, that's good.
well,
you're starting her off right.
Initially, it was just it's a bright colored thing. It was new to this because I had just gotten it before she got like the day before or something.
Yeah.
But I opened it up and kind of showed her some of them, and she goes, "Oh, he's got a rope." Things like just like. And I told her, this is a guy. He goes and he looks for treasure, and he helps and he fights bad guys, and he helps people, things like that. And she's like, "Ooh, yeah." That's all she needs to know for now, because she does not need to watch Nazis' faces melt yet.
But we'll get their time is coming.
We'll get to the Nazi face melting soon, because someday you got to learn to melt some Nazis' faces yourself.
That's right. Give what's deserved.
Right, but. No, you're absolutely right. And it's not even that there are female characters. Whoever they want to glom on to.
Yes.
I don't want if she wants to be what society sees as a girly girl, that's fine, baby. You do you. That's fine. She loves the rainbows and unicorns right now. She's big into it.
Yeah. And I've got that too. And
right.
Again, my kids run the gamut. Like Harper loves Star Wars, but Harper loves stuffed animals. And if those two things cross over, and she got the Loth Cat from Target the other day that they had.
I got Ella one of those too, and she named it ice cream, and it was amazing. Oh,
poop! Thank you. And Lily loves Titanic, and she loves she's kind of coming around to Star Wars, but she wants somebody to be invested in. So we started watching Rebels with her, and she was like, and she even kind of said, she was like, I want some women characters, but I want to figure out who I like. And I was like, well, you've got Sabine, you've got Hera, you've got when Ahsoka shows up, like there's plenty of options there, and she likes Hera right now. Like she has grabbed onto Hera. But then again, Harper's favorite character in Rebels is Callus. She loves Callus. And
who doesn't love Callus?
And she knows what's coming.
Especially his evolution of Hot Callus. Sorry,
absolutely, hot Callus Summer. It's here.
Yeah. Good. You can pull off a Hot Callus Summer, by the way. Just side note.
Get the chops,
shave the middle, get the chops going. Guy in chat, let us know. You think tell Nick he can pull off Hot Callus Summer. Continue.
The absence of the chin under this beard will ruin Hot Callus Summer for everyone. But that's okay. That's a choice I've made.
The beard is the push-up bra of men for sure. Yeah, it's fine.
Without a doubt. But same thing. But then like my 5-year-old, like she's just kind of here hanging out, but she's all literally rainbows and unicorns and mermaids. And the one in the middle likes all of it, and she loves horses. So everybody wins, at some point when she figures out the Valkyrie and she has like the Pegasus / flying horses, that may be her new favorite character.
I wish they would have more of her too with the flying Pegasus. Pegasuses. I can't say that.
That's okay. The Pegasi. But really for me, like I said, it comes down to I want to always provide the opportunities for my kids to be entertained and go, what do you like? You don't have to like what I like. That's not how this works. Like, I want them to chart their own path. I want them to decide who they're going to be. And at the same time, and this is the challenge, especially parenting some teenagers, is teaching them it's not okay to be a shit to somebody else if they like something you do or don't like. And that's the other side of that coin. And, of course, in the teenage, realm, it's, especially when they're being, shitty to their sisters. Why do you like that, Ren? Why do you whatever? I'm like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be those people. Right. And so it just
let people like what they like.
Yeah. And apparently I'm teaching all these life lessons to my kids through Star Wars and Marvel movies. So it is what it is.
There you go. Wait, Connor, what did I say? I've said that to friends and coworkers. Not sure if I should credit you. What did I say? Did I say something? Did I trademark something?
I think he means the push-up bra of the chin.
Oh, it's not. I saw it on Facebook. So it's not. Don't credit me. No. Credit yourself or Facebook. Honestly, that's fine with me. Anyway, no. I not that you have to be a dad of girls either to understand. Honestly, we should just as fellow human beings, all of you out there, if you have girls or not, you should just let people be who they want to be.
Absolutely.
As long as, especially if it's not hurting anybody else, not hurting you. It's not. let people be who they want to be. And I just don't know of anything better to teach your kids than, hey, we need to,
for sure. And I
you need
agree
to make sure to, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I agree with you completely. And you bring up a really good point, which is, if I was on the opposite side of this coin and I was raising 4 boys, I would be in the same boat. Like, I want them to know that they can be who they want to be, who they choose to be, straight, gay, Star Wars, ballet, My Little Pony, whatever it is. Like, I want them to be who they want, but they also have a responsibility to treat others with the dignity and respect they deserve to be who they're going to be. And so it's not simply but my reality is girls, and my reality in the world we live in is that girls have gotten second place, have gotten forced upon status in a lot of different ways. And those aren't going to be the girls that I raise. I want to raise my girls to be compassionate, care about their neighbor, whatever their neighbor looks like or is or does, and be who they choose to be, and be that confidently. I spend so much time trying to tell my girls, speak up. You have something to say. What you have to say is important, and I want to hear you. I get irritated and I yell at them in the car sometimes because they mumble. And I say, I'm not mad at you, but I want you to speak up because what you have to say is important. And sometimes I think there's that underlying feeling of, well, I'm going to mumble because either he doesn't care what I have to say, or he's busy thinking about something else or doing something else or whatever. Like, I want them to own who they are, what they say, what they do, because who they are and what they have to say is important. So those are my goals. And if I can get them there, I've done my job.
Honestly, that should be the goal. Again, like we said, of any parent, but especially with girls. I respect the hell out of you, Nick, and I look up to you, honestly. Just if we can get real for a sec, but also, and I mean that. I think people think that me and Scotty kind of conflate stuff a little bit for clicks and whatever. No, I mean that. But I don't know. Just something you just said really clicked with me there. I loved, and it's the thinking. Oh, he doesn't want to have. He may not want to hear their mumbling because, and you want them to know their voice is valid. For some reason, right now, that really resonates with me, especially not just with my kid, but just like for them to know. Well, as a father, if there is one thing I want my child to know, and we are a little bit on different, like, I'm a divorced parent right now, and you guys have, so we do come from sort of different dynamics, but yet still the same. Absolutely. And I think you would agree with this too. We as fathers want our children to know what they have to say is actually the most important thing that we want to hear. Mm-hmm. And that is, that's something that I would add to that. That's just something that I feel you said inherently in what you just, shared with us.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, well, no. That was basically just like that was inherent in what you said, and that's just, I think that's something that most parents, not even just fathers, they want your kid. You want your kids to know, if you're a good parent, what you have to say is the most important to me.
Absolutely. Well, and the other side of that coin is, I'm not perfect, and I screw up all the time, and I'm short with my kids, or I'm frustrated because I'm trying to deal with something else, or I'm figuring something else, or they were driving home yesterday from out of town, and they had been gone all weekend, and I had been home, like I talked about earlier. And my wife called on the phone just to give me an update on where they were. And I was on speaker, and one of the girls said something to me from the back of the van, and unintentionally I said, "What?" And my wife immediately went, "Why do you say it like that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I didn't realize that I sounded irritated. Right. But I was irritated because she was in the back of the van on speakerphone, and I couldn't really hear what she said, but I knew she was trying to talk. And I have to take moments. Yeah. And I have to take moments every day to stop and go, I'm not pissed at her. I'm not annoyed at her. I'm annoyed at something else, but it's not her fault. And I don't always get that right. And I have plenty of times where, or I do get irritated with them. And especially, we were driving to, drop them off at play practice tonight, and it was just the two of the twins in the car, and one of them was irritated and salty about something, and I was trying to counsel them through it, but I got irritated because they were kind of shutting down on me, And so I'm like, just talk to me and I can talk to you. But if you shut down, I'm going to get pissed. And so I'm trying not to, and these are the struggles of being a parent, whether it's boys, girls, whatever it is. It's a learning process. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to get it right. I'm going to screw it up more than I do get it right. But at the end of the day, I want my girls to know I love them and there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. And I want them to choose who they're going to be in their life and be happy being who they choose to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you've got, look, we've got some good things here. I don't know if let's put a spotlight on this. Empathy is hard to teach. There's quotes all the time to explain it. Empathy
Absolutely.
Truly is. And honestly, Nick, I would say, and I mean, we've got Connor here saying failure is not the end. It's a necessary part of the path. Totally get where you're coming from. And I mean, that is to go back to Scotty kind of like starting us off on the parenting path. I think that's the biggest challenge of the parenting, Scotty, is just making sure. And something I noticed from you, Nick, and something I am trying to cultivate in myself is you want to be able to look at the way you even say something. And even if you may have not meant it as that, to not take, if someone comes at you with criticism saying like, maybe you should have said it a little differently, to not take that to heart, take it personally and just go, you know what, like be able to look at yourself in the mirror, question, not put yourself down and go, I'm going to try to do better next time.
That's right.
And stuff.
And there's two things that connect to that is one, I know I do it and I'm going to continue to do it. Not because, I enjoy it. I'm just a human and that's what happens. But the key for me, and especially with my oldest two, is when I have those moments where I'm short with them or I snap at them or about something, as soon as I have a minute and the opportunity, I will get with them and I'll go, hey, you understand that wasn't about you. I'm frustrated about something else. Like I'll be the first one to tell them I screwed up. It wasn't about you. I'm not mad at you. I'm frustrated about this other thing and I took it out on you. And every time I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice or I didn't care or what, they get it because if you treat them like the kids that they are, the adults that they're becoming, that makes the difference in their development too. The other thing I was going to say is my wife said a long time ago, and I don't know where she got the quote from, but it has always stuck with me and really tries to drive the way I talk to my kids, is the way we talk to our kids becomes their inner voice. And so if you're the parent that is constantly nagging, wearing down, that's who they're going to think they are. And that's what they're going to say to themselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Why did I screw that up again? Why did I, but if we talk to our kids with grace and patience and kindness, even when they're wrong and making sure they understand they're wrong, that inner voice can be completely different. And so that has always stuck with me. And so, I yell, I get pissed. My kids are idiots because all kids are idiots. And so
we all are.
They can't help it. It's built in, kids are dumb. Kids are like drunk little adults. But the way I respond to those things has the ability to impact their entire future and life going forward. And so I try to carry that with every interaction I have with my kids. I'm not going to baby them. I'm not going to let them get away with stuff they shouldn't get away with. I'm going to help them be accountable. But the way I speak to my kid is going to be how they think about and carry themselves going forward. And that's been as impactful as anything else to me. Yeah. So that's that's ultimately my big parenting advice, is how you speak to your kids is going to become their inner voice. And that's just huge.
And just to put a little bit of a button on here, I'm about to throw the live the link in the chat so you guys can come in. Scotty, leave a like, please. Give us all the likes and stuff that helps boost the signal and all that kind of stuff. We're back on our original channel. We need all the help we can get, even though we can't ride Scotty's 1 million view video forever. Okay.
But by God, you're gonna try.
By golly, we are going to try. But listen, to put just kind of a button on all of this, there's no better parenting advice. And I mean, even me and my ex, before we split, we did talk a lot about, we were becoming very conscious of how much trauma our parents gave us unintentionally.
Sure.
That you are going to give your kids trauma. It's just how like you said, because no one's perfect. So, it truly is a matter of just make sure that the voice you're leaving them with is one that is going to be helpful and is going to be healing, and not one that is going to be just a voice of I'm not good enough at all.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so, listen, smash that button, as the cliche YouTubers say, smash it, take it,
smash that like button,
smash it,
Come
smash
on.
it. I don't have any brand stuff. This is a very simple show right now. So I don't have any like cool things like Force Connect or anything, but you know what? Here, guys, if you would like to join us, is the StreamYard link. I hope it works.
And I have another quick topic while we're waiting to see if anybody jumps in.
Let's see if what do you got? What do you got?
Well, and nothing deep. No, we're gonna transition back into some silliness if we want to. I was so tickled the few weeks back when my man Jerry, for that brief window of time, became Jerry the Ecto Junkie, because Jerry's love of Ghostbusters speaks to my heart and soul. Here it comes. I know where it is. There it is, baby.
Look at this. I've wanted something like this my entire life,
it's
especially
so
just
rad.
because the door opens the right way.
Is that the
This is the one that it was released for for what do you call it?
new one?
The new movie, but it was released last year because they COVID messed up all their release stuff. But yes, I do have a rusty Ecto one. It's got the gunner seat right here.
Absolutely.
But go ahead.
I was going to say the things that I loved growing up.
Ghostbusters was my first love.
Star Wars and Ghostbusters, and I have a picture of it somewhere that I don't know where it is at this moment. Of when Ghostbusters came out, I had the original Ecto one. I didn't have the Firehouse, but I got for Christmas that Ecto one year, and I had the figures. And it was really hard when they re-released those in the last year at Walmart, the re-released Ghostbuster figures, to not go buy those. And if I find them at this point, I may still, because I loved that era of first Ghostbusters movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. Highly underrated as a comedy.
Oh yeah.
And I just loved it. And, Ghostbusters 2 is fun in its own weird kind of way. But I got so tickled because you and I do have kind of a generational gap. I'm a much older gentleman than you are. But when you started professing that love for Ghostbusters a couple of weeks ago, it fed my soul and made me feel good to know that my man Jerry is also a Ghostbusters guy.
I'm pretty sure my parents took me in 1989 to see Ghostbusters 2 when I was probably 2. So you can question them later. But I also had that Firehouse. And if it's the same one, I don't know if it's the original one, but it's the one from the real Ghostbusters and everything. And it had the goop that would go down through all the floors and stuff. That stuff dried out real quick because, I left the thing off. But yeah, man, we are closer than you think. And we have that ecto running through our blood, that ectoplasm.
So fantastic.
We have a guest waiting to come on.
Do it.
I'm kind of excited about because I've never actually spoken to her, and I see her smiling and stuff. We've known of each other, talk back and forth because we are both ADHD kids. I think I'm letting it go now who it is, but I'm going to bring in Miss Bupenheim.
Hi.
Yay.
Jerry.
Boom. Jerry. I'm so excited to have you on.
Yeah, you said it. This is the first time we've actually spoken to each other. Like,
how wild is this?
Person?
Do you need to just take me out so that y'all can have a minute, Jerry?
Well, I don't know how to switch things around, but it'll
Jerry doesn't know what he's doing. It's fine.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's why we're all here.
This is literally running with rubber bands.
No one knows what they're
doing. Parenting. Yes, exactly. Right. That's the biggest thing you need to realize. Your first lesson, Scotty, when you become a parent is your parents didn't know shit. Okay?
No.
They did. They were just your parents, when you thought they were the impenetrable walls of protection, were scared shitless. And that is 110% correct. So
here's the secret to parenting. 95% of it is doing what your gut tells you. The other 5% is not doing what some other parent tells you to do.
Well, and so, there's a slight portion of just don't kill the kid. You just make sure your kid doesn't die.
That is important. We had a lot of trips to the hospital as a kid, but none of us died. Like,
everybody's still here. That was
a benefit.
Totally good.
And that is called a victory right there. So
exactly.
Cheers to victory. Cheers to victory.
Cheers.
Oh, wait, yeah, you get. That's cool. That's cool. Was it hand sanitizer or something?
In fact, yes, it was.
Nice.
Oh, you man,
No.
Alky. You Alky. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Boop, do you have anything you want to talk about or anything you want to bring up or questions or anything or no pressure?
You made me think of Ghostbusters. I watched Ghostbusters 2 before I watched Ghostbusters 1.
Oh,
it's still my favorite.
There's plenty of Ghostbusters 2 love on this side. I'm telling
Absolutely.
you. And even Nick was saying, yeah. Oh man, I honestly, even the 2016 one, I mean, it was different than what I thought it was going to be. I have no hate. No hate.
You know what I need to do, Jerry? I need to tweet that article that I texted to you the other day about them making the painting of Vigo the Carpathian for Ghostbusters 2. Like the art and the all the stuff that went into them getting that done. It's fantastic.
There we go.
Oh no, I'm in a sandwich. A dad sandwich.
It's a yeah. There you go.
A dadwich.
A dadwich. There won't. Then it won't be a Nick sandwich. Yeah.
A manwich.
Okay, a manwich.
Oh,
manwich is delicious.
There was. Holy shit! Now I want a manwich. Okay. Well.
Right. It's literally just ketchup and Worcestershire sauce. That's all that manwich is.
You know how many times my family had from that can of ketchup and Worcestershire sloppy joes.
Absolutely.
Dude.
So many nights.
Lunch
Lady Land. It was a staple in my house growing up.
Oh no.
Thanks,
and I think about Billy Madison.
You're welcome.
I made them extra sloppies for you.
I know how you kids like an extra sloppy.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Well, listen, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I need to bring everyone on at the same time. Boop, if you want to stick around in the background for a second, I don't want to kick you off. But I
understand.
We actually surprisingly have two more guests. They're not you were the most surprising but welcome one. They are just they're not surprising at all. I kind of figured they would show up, but I still love them. So I'm going to bring one of them in. But Boop, thank you so much for coming on. We're not going to force push you out like Force Connector or anything. So
yeah, that hurt. Jackson force pushes a little too hard.
He does.
Jackson doesn't know his own strength.
We don't do that here on Hyperfocus. We just say, hey, hang around. We'll see you later. All right. I'm going to bring in Mr. Michael, the Trioculus. Are you the Trioculus? What's up, buddy?
I'm the Trioculus junkie.
The Trioculus
junkie. Well, we'd have to bring you up full screen or something here, but there you go. Look, now I can move you wherever I want you.
Wow, the magic.
Jerry's gained new powers. He's leveled up.
He's force pushing us around the screen.
Hey, if you hit that one, Jerry, where there's the 3 and the big one and the 2 on the side, and you put Michael in the big one, then you can go Michael big, us small.
Michael big, us small.
Now, hold on, but you got to move.
That's the technical
move Michael up to the top left corner.
All right.
Nope, that's the top right.
Nope.
We'll get it right eventually.
All right.
You know what?
Down at the bottom, there's the one where you've got the bit there. Oh, look at you.
Snap. Look at this.
You can see the Lego animated
producing.
Oh my goodness.
Time.
Honestly, I kind of like this. We should have done this with Boop. I'm sorry, Boop. But anyway, it's fine. Next time. But guys, I just think first of all, can we just, I think it's hysterical. How Scotty was giving me a tutorial and all this. But anyway, Michael, you come on a lot of our shows and stuff, or at least you're there in the chat and stuff. You come on and Force Connect and everything. Do you have anything do you have a question? Do you have comments on what we've been talking about tonight? Any of it, Marvel or whatever?
Pop in, say hey. I'm thoroughly enjoying the discussion, loving the show so far.
Oh, nice.
And I'm very glad that I could be here to watch it because I usually work Monday nights, and instead I got morning shift today. So I was actually able to tune in and listen.
Well, man, I'm glad you were able to stop by. Seriously, it's not like Force Connect, at all. I'm not trying to do a Force Connect thing with this, but just kind of more like a radio show type of style where we have you call in and stuff. And I appreciate it. And I hope that you work more Monday mornings and less Monday.
Me too.
Just for Scotty, absolutely. I mean, Jerry.
Yeah, right. Just for me. Yeah.
I'm sure Scotty would enjoy it too.
I'm just kidding. But no, Scotty would love it for sure. Play Freebird. It might happen. We'll have to see. But anyway, all right, buddy. Well, hey, not that I don't love you. I'm gonna actually let Connor come on and stuff.
Let Connor
Just as you
come
can pop
on.
to say hi. I'm gonna let Connor come on real quick because we're running right at an hour. I'm trying to be good. But hey, you keep drinking that beer and you stay good. Okay. I'm gonna be able to see you right here in the studio. So
All right.
all right. Love you, buddy. All right. Now Nick's big. But you know what?
Nope.
We're
Hello.
at
In there.
Connor.
There he is.
Connor. Woo, Jerry kind of gets it. What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Dude, not much. Just you sitting here. I hope that the chat has been interesting to everyone. This is the maiden voyage and everything, and I kind of put a lot on Nick right there. I was like, Nick, you program the show, buddy. What do you want to talk about? And but I don't know. I hope it's been a nice experience for all of us around here. But what do you got, man? You got any questions or comments on anything, or what do you got, man?
No questions. It's been just pretty insightful. And
I have a question for Connor.
Okay.
Connor,
Oh, okay.
How is Virginia so far?
Connor
just moved.
I had the same.
Yeah.
I was gonna say your background's different. How's the move? How you doing?
The
drinking
move was
water?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah,
all we want.
the move was pretty good. It took about 4 hours, mainly because like we stopped. Hello. I'm just blanking on everything.
That's all right.
We moved.
Went under the lights, man. Under the lights.
We moved. Parents helped me. I pretty much got everything in.
That's awesome.
I was like, literally my first. It's bad how much this is infected. Not really infected, but like, for lack of a better term, infected my life, because like literally my first thought was, where am I going to put all my stuff? Like my mic, camera,
Totally fair.
laptop.
That was
Totally
my
fair.
first thought when I moved into this new apartment and stuff. I'm like, am I going to have room to do stuff? And honestly, I think this is my best setup behind me, but that's just decoration. My bed is literally like not even 2 feet away from me right now. So I have an aisle I walk through to get
Totally
here.
legit.
So, but yeah.
Well, and also
priorities.
for Connor got a job as a tour guide. What are you tour guiding? I'm very interested in this.
Is it a ghost tour? What's going on?
it's in Alexandria.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be giving tours. I mean, they gave me the script, and I still have to like learn it and everything. I go in tomorrow again, but I'll be giving tours on Washington's history as it relates to him being a Mason.
Nice.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So
Awesome.
National treasure shit going on here.
Here's a fun fact. You guys are ahead of the curve with this one.
Hey, man.
The theater, that's part of our museum. One of the first scenes for National Treasure 2 was filmed there.
No
Nice.
way. That's
about
so
that?
Cool. Connor is the national treasure. Yes, Boop,
Agreed.
He is.
Totally
yes,
agreed.
very
Maybe.
much. No, it's
Dude,
for
that's
real.
awesome. That really is
Well,
cool.
so-
I love
so-
history, and I love that kind of stuff. And so when I saw you tweet that the other day, I was like, what a rad job. Like, I'm so glad that you get to do something like that. And and again, history in general just was right up my alley. So that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
History. It's a really cool job. When do you get to meet the lizard people, though, and stuff with the Masons?
I don't think I have enough security clearance for that yet.
Probably not. Not yet.
Do you
like
have to bring
that's
your
the
own
level
foil
Omega.
for the hat, or do they assign foil to you for the hat?
I think I have to bring my own foil, which I do.
That's
have.
good. You get to choose. You get to choose the quality that you have. Then
Right.
Yep.
Well,
but I don't know if that starts soon. I don't know if that part of it starts soon. I think I have to be like here like 6 months or so before all that starts happening.
How long till you get to be like a cabana boy at Bohemian Grove? Okay, I'm done. I'll stop.
I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I'm down in Virginia. It's pretty good. I don't know where the map is, Bupenheim.
it's on the back of the Constitution. We know
they hadn't filled.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
that apparently is a fake.
Come on, came from the gift shop.
We know it was written in lemon juice. You have to. It's like invisible ink. But anyway,
Yep.
I think it's like a jellyfish thing. I think you're supposed to pee on it. Is that not right?
That might be it. I'll test it out.
Sorry.
I'll test it out and report my findings.
There you go. All
Oh,
right. Yeah, keep us posted.
Good Lord. That is incredible.
Yeah, Virginia's good. I like it. Where I'm at,
That's
it's
excellent.
a pretty urban area. I mean, from a certain point of view, they're lies, but like history's written by the victors.
It's all right.
So,
At this,
but yeah, it's pretty good.
what's funny is these guys are in the studio still, and they are just like letting you have it. So it's kind of because we took them off. So
that is
but
true.
anyway, it's true.
So,
Well, we're glad you made it safe. We're glad
Absolutely.
it's good to see you. Honestly, I had my kiddo. I was kind of like absent from Twitter this whole week, and I had my kiddo, and I knew you were moving, and then the next time I got on, you were there, and I was like.
Yep.
I'm glad you made it safe. Sorry, I wasn't there for moral support or anything, but I know you were busy as hell anyway. So
yep. No, you're good. You're good, Jerry.
thank you. Well, again, seriously, wait, please don't urinate on the sea life unless absolutely necessary. Thank you, Frammy. I love you guys. Glad you're here. But
It's a fair point.
anyway, it is. Well, Connor, man, listen, I don't know. I think we've had a good number of guests and stuff on today. I think honestly, if you want to stick around and everything, I'm not trying to kick you out. Again, I'm not going to force push people out.
That's Force
it's gonna-
Connect's thing.
That's Force Connect's thing, and that's fine. They can do that. I'm going to just say, hey,
Jerry's a lover, not a force pusher.
exactly. I'm a forced lover. Sure. I don't like the wording there. Forced lover. No.
No.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, cut it. But anyway, I'm going to. Here's what we do on Force Connect on Hyperfocus. Crossing my streams in Ghostbuster terms. Listen, I'm going to say, hey, thanks for stopping by. Hang around if you'd like.
Thanks for having me
And
on.
thank you for stopping by, my friend. Okay, Nick, little Nick, little Nicky.
Little Nicky.
Man, honestly, again, this is the inaugural episode, so I think we might just need to maybe wrap it up a little bit here.
I think it's been fantastic.
Well, thank you for coming and stopping by and talking with me, man. Seriously, it's
Thank
been a
you
blast.
for being brave enough to say, hey, I don't have an agenda. Start talking, because that's about the most dangerous thing you can do, because I will talk until someone takes that hook and drags me off the stage, like in, the cartoons. But truly, it has been an honor.
You gotta have two opposing forces like us. It's like,
That's
the
right.
sea meets a rock. And so
No, it's truly been an honor to be on your first episode. And
thank you.
I love you, and I love that you have this outlet. I love that you have this chance to be Jerry. Not that you're not Jerry on Bombad, not that you're not Jerry on Forcecast, not that you're not Jerry on Twitter, but this is a different thing. Like, you get your opportunity to go, this week's been kind of shitty, and this is what I want to talk about. Or this guest comes on next week, and this is where they want to go. And I think that's really a fun way to do it, is kind of the reverse talk show. Like, you're the host, but the guest gets to come on and go, this is what's on my mind this week. Because if you had gotten me 2 weeks from now, it could have been a totally different something else. But that's the beauty of it. Yeah. And I will definitely be tuning in to all the future Mondays to see what the next guests have to say, because I think you're great, and I'm excited for you to have the chance to do this.
Seriously, those words are very kind. I really appreciate it. And look, it could be, we ranged the gamut tonight. We talked about fun things. We talked about sweet things. We talked about very important issues about parenting, about being fathers, and just about being kind and empathetic to your fellow human being. And
absolutely.
And then we laughed about weird things. And Scotty even said this: opposites erect, which is shows me his level of maturity. And it's fine. I love him. I love him to pieces. Guys, thank you. Oh, hold on. Someone should have broken a bottle of fancy champagne on the side of the monitor to launch the show. We know that might still happen. But guys, again, all of you in the chat, my wonderful guest, Nick, not the last time he's going to be on. I'll tell you that. Not the last time.
I'll be back anytime you need me.
But it can't, seriously, that's the whole premise of the show. This is it, guys. It is whatever we think. Just think of me, I guess, as your internet therapist. I don't know. I'm not licensed, so don't, I can't bill you or anything, so don't worry. But guys, thank you again for showing up. I have no sign-off phrase, so thanks for coming and checking out our Hyperfocus. We'll see you I guess next Monday. Bye. Check out Scotty's show on Wednesday. Later. Stay Bombad.